salmon are an icon of the Pacific Northwest.
Salmon conservation is important to me and to the people of this region because they are something that has been here for a very, very long time. And we are struggling to find a way to keep them here, keep them healthy in an increasingly urban setting.
But because they are critical to the ecosystem upon which all creatures, including humans, rely. I mean, salmon not only link the ocean with the freshwater, but they're a critical source of food for orca whales, for seals and sea lions, for all kinds of things, plus the decomposing bodies of the salmon when they come back to spawn, after they spawn and die, provide all kinds of nutrients, not just for the next generation of salmon, but for bears and eagles and otters. And so they're really a linchpin to how everything in the Puget Sound ecoregion works.
Well, I would sort of quote Billy Frank, kind of the leader of the tribes here in Western Washington, a great guy, and that he feels that it's an icon. It tells us something about who we are, and it tells us about part of our heritage. And salmon have been part of this region. So for us to lose the salmon would be losing something culturally important to everybody. And I think that's probably the big thing. Besides salmon, because for its own sake, the recreational enjoyment, things of this nature. But really, it's part of our heritage.
Well, salmon to the region, it was much of our identity. It was the second largest economic source for the region early on, timber being the first, and so it was a major economic driver. But it's also a great cultural icon. And again, it's a real identity. It's when you think of the Northwest around the country, people often refer to or think of the image of salmon and the wildness that they represent.
Salmon in the Northwest are really an icon of the Pacific Northwest. People take comfort in watching salmon spawn. Some people view them as the canary in the mine. That if we don't have healthy environment for salmon, it's not going to be a very healthy environment for humans.
Salmon are important to the tribes. It's part of their culture. It's their very being. It's their essence. All of their traditions are based on salmon and around salmon. For Puget Sound, the Washington Coast, and Columbia River, that's how they provided their sustenance and their trading, throughout their lives. It is the essence of their being.
To me, the return of the salmon is the place-defining event for the Pacific Northwest, and the fact that the salmon are in decline, the fact that in 40% of their historic range they're now extinct, is pretty troubling to me. That's part of the reason why people have often referred to the salmon as the regional icon, is because their return to the rivers was the place-defining event. The nutrients that they brought from the ocean penetrated the whole ecosystem. Natural economies depended on them. Human economies depended on them. They were the place-defining event, and we're losing that.